Just a quick few points. So this morning we framed the conversation, and as we're all taking seats back in the chairs, make sure to fill up all the tables because we're going to get to work here. But we framed the conversation. So Damon, the Executive Vice President here at the Atlantic Council, came up and answered who is involved in solving this collective challenge. And that's all of us, specifically. Sir Julian came up and answered what is the collective challenge, and that is the collective challenge of disinformation, misinformation, online falsehoods. Ben, Andy, Alexa, and Kate came up and talked a little bit about why, how we do what we do, how we frame, how we think about these issues, the can we do this, the should we do this, answering how. I'll just tell you the answer to when, and that's right now, it's tomorrow, it's the day after that, and the next day after that. And we've all answered why. Why are we all here? And it's because we all share a sense of urgency in the mission. What I would say is that the only question we have not answered yet is where. And what I would like to do is introduce my colleagues, Lukas and Michael, to come up here and tell you a little bit about how we can find it.
Hello, Digital Sherlocks. My name is Lukas Andriukaitis, and I work with DFRLab as a research associate.
My name is Michael Sheldon. I work at the DFRLab as a research assistant.
In DFRLab, we use a lot of open source methods to do research, but probably one of the most iconic, and in my opinion, one of the most fun, is geolocation. Basically what it is, the principle behind it is very simple. You take an image or a video of your interest, and you use the details in the background to identify where exactly the event has taken place.
That's exactly right. And so usually what you want to do is you want to start with some sort of guiding information to how you're going to figure out where this is. Often there will be a mention of maybe a city or country, maybe even a street number or a street name if you're lucky. And once you narrow down your search a little bit, you can start looking at the picture and really seeing what is in the picture. Is there a busy street in the background? How many lanes does the street have? What shape does the building have? All these things are unique to this specific image, and you'll be able to recognize that signature in a 2D form on satellite imagery. And that is a process of trying to, in your mind, figure out how does this 3D visualization translate into a top-down view 2D.
Yeah. So throughout last year, we did quite a lot of research on Wagner mercenaries, which is a Russian mercenary group that is highly active in various conflict zones, Syria, Ukraine. And one of the things we did some research on the statues that were commemorating their activities. So here's an example of the latest one that we found. This one was in Russia. Here's the tweet that we took and tried to geolocate. The tweet said that the statue was built somewhere in Горячий Ключ, near the town of Горячий Ключ in Russia, Krasnodar region. And we did exactly that. The geolocation process looks more or less like this. You take satellite imagery, whether it would be Google Earth or any other, and try to match all the details to identify and confirm that it was taken at exactly the same place. Here's how it looks in practice. You can even see to the greatest detail. For example, the statue is shedding a shadow, and you can even reference that as well. If you have access to archival data of satellite imagery, you can even track the whole process of a building or military base being built. And we did it with this statue, and we found two more in Ukraine and Syria, and we were able to pinpoint exactly on the map where they are, and in this way prove that this group was active in these regions. And we want to give you a little taste of geolocation for yourselves. How many of you have tried it before? Show of hands. All right, a few. So what I want you to do is you have envelopes on your tables. Open them up. You'll find images with letters and numbers. Ones will be with photos taken from our research, and the others will be satellite imagery. And what we want you to do is to match them up and to pinpoint on the map exactly where they were taken. A short disclaimer, there are more satellite imagery than there are photos. There are a few red herrings to make it a bit more fun. And me and Michael will be walking around and helping you, so if you'll have any questions, just raise your hand and we'll come up. Good luck with your geolocation. All right, we're done. So, how many groups do you think? How many of you think the correct answer? Which letter is correct to the number 1? C. Any other ideas? I think everyone agrees on C. It is C. Did you manage to pinpoint where it was taken? So the main giveaways, I would say, are the poles and the shadows, the gas station, and you can see a very distinctive shape of a roof, which also should help you to find it. This was taken in Ingushetia during the protests, and the trucks you see are the Russian troops that were brought to Ingushetia to disperse the protests.
Okay, what does everybody think number 2 was? We have conflicting answers. I think mostly E. Yes, the correct answer was E. This picture was taken in Homs. And the man that you see in the image is a private military contractor from a Russian PMC, private military contractor, called Vegasi. And they were in Syria training the Quds Brigade for Assad's forces.
Yep. Number 3. All right, we have different letters. It's J. The main giveaways, I would say, the tower, very obvious. You can see the shadow. You can also see the shapes of the roofs. So to identify where exactly it was taken, it should be right around there. It was also in Ingushetia and the town of Magas during the same protests, and those troops also came to disperse the protests.
What does everybody think this was? Seems pretty unanimous D. Let's see it. Yeah, correct. So this was a statue of Assad in Deir ez-Zor that was erected after Assad's forces retook the city. And one crucial detail, or 2 crucial details. One was the shape of the roundabout. It was very angular. And then the building in the background you can see to the north here.
Number 5. All right, we have a few different options. It's A. You can see the dirt road. You can see a couple of buildings. But in this case, the trees and fronts are very, very clearly visible. This was a Russian patrol in Manbij in northern Syria. They were patrolling the newly taken areas.
Where does everybody think this was? F? Okay. Let's see it. It was F. So this was from Raqqa. And what you're looking at here is a mass grave. And so this is one of the interesting features of satellite imagery. When it gets updated, you can see changes to the landscape. And so if you go back in historical imagery, you can see when it was just an empty field. But now, you can see that these fairly, not even particularly wide trenches are very visible in satellite imagery.
Number 7? K. This should have been a more tricky one. There were a few similar ones. The answer is K. Were you able to identify the tower in the background? It's right on the right. It's dark gray. I can't pinpoint you right now, but I'll show it up.
It's just north of a blue box.
Yeah. So that would be it. Yeah. I hope it was hard enough to be exciting, yet not easy enough to feel like geolocation is always a walk in the park, because it's not. Despite the fact that most of the examples were taken from security, hard security topics, please keep in mind this method can be used in many other research, basically any research. It's very useful. It's quite fun. So I hope we managed to pique your interest, and good luck geolocating in the future.